Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're back. It's Friday night. It's time to talk football. We've been gone for 78 weeks. It seems like we're back.
Hey
the
guys,
guys are
I'm
with
Daniel.
me. That's Daniel. He's still the same guy. You actually look like you trimmed a few lbs there, bub. You been running?
No, I don't run. I don't run.
I don't either. It's the as Josh would remind us, it's the fat knees that keep me from running. But guys, it's great to be back with you all. For those of you who keep a track at home, we did make picks during the off weeks. We have been updating the standings, so we've got a very big update for that for you tonight. And we're going to jump right into playoff implication NFL football, the first ever NFL Week 18, and we're here to discuss it live tonight. Gentlemen, I expect that after a period of several weeks off, that your hot takes are no less rusty than they were before. I'm counting on it.
Absolutely.
Counting on it.
Cocked, locked, and ready to roll.
There you go. So for the next hour and 20 minutes or so, we're gonna be speed running through the Week 18 games. There's not a ton about the individual matchups to talk about, luckily, with most of them being kind of mismatched with a lot of players sitting and not your traditional matchups. But we do have a lot of playoff implications to discuss with some of these games. So we're going to focus on the important stuff. We are going to pick the games. But before we get into that, I do want to give a quick update to the folks at home on the Pick'em standings. Now, when we last left you, which was week, I believe, 14 was our last live show. So 15, 16, 15, 16, 17, we were up. When we last left you, the standings were as follows. Ship in first, Nathan in second, Jordan in third, Josh in fourth, Chris in fifth. Now, a lot of shuffling has occurred, but as it stands right now, and you can see them on the ticker on the bottom of the screen, the standings are as follows. In first place with 160 wins on the season, Mr. Daniel Ship, going 12-4 last week. Great record. I do want to give a shout out to our new second place position holder, Josh Hawthorne. He did have an almost perfect week during one of the off weeks. I believe he was 13-1, was it? Let's just double check this.
It was Arizona losing to LA, the one that bit me on Monday night.
Was it? I forget which week it was, but yes.
It was when Arizona played LA Monday night. LA came out and just torched them, and ran away with the game. And
you are correct, and that was a 12-1 week. You picked up, but you still only picked up one game on Ship because he went 11-2. So
listen. I think we've all established we're not catching Ship. It's just don't finish last.
Look. I got close. I was within 2 games, and let's just say I'm not within 2 games now. We'll just say that, okay?
Okay.
But I want to remind everybody, and of course, in a failure of epic proportions, it's in the other room and not sitting here with me. So I'm going to go grab that here in just a second. But I want to remind everybody, the person who finishes last has to eat live on the air for our Super Bowl show, which will be the week leading up to the Super Bowl. Will not be on Friday, but it will be earlier in the week, and we'll be announcing a date later. But they have to eat Devil's Breath beef jerky, courtesy of our friends and presenting sponsors at the Outlaw Jerky Company. I do have a bag of jerky sitting here that I motored through earlier this week. This is what their jerky looks like. This is the fajita flavor. I recommend all of their flavors, even the Devil's Breath. It's 2 times hotter than the one chip challenge that I had to eat last year for finishing last place. And as of right now, Josh has moved into a tie with me for second place. He was in second place, and then I caught him again this past week. And there's been some shuffling, boys. As of this moment, Chris Land has a 2-game lead on Jordan for the race to the jerky. So Mr. El Viking Luchadora is looking to have some spicy jerky here in the
Jordan,
next.
How you feeling right now, buddy?
I just want to say,
Jordan?
we talked like 3 times this about the whole let's submit our picks before the show so it's all anonymous. So I was against it, and we said, we're not gonna change it up. And then we go on a fucking 6-week span of everyone send in your picks anonymously because we're not doing a show. And I'm not gonna say I got shafted. because I
You did-
wasn't
hey,
able
man,
to strategically
hey.
pick
We
against.
all had
against
to pick. We all had to pick.
we
Yeah.
all
I
had to
didn't worry
pick,
about
but you know,
names.
Listen,
maybe I
we
hear
won.
my
Hey.
friend pick a dog that I
You
liked,
really
and I
didn't
say,
lose,
you know
dude.
what?
You just didn't win.
You just
Listen,
didn't win.
Listen,
all
we
right.
blind
It's all
picked.
right.
Listen, we blind picked, and I went from second to last to second.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Some people thrived.
Why
I
did
was,
you pick
you know, I
your
was
favorites?
doing
You
all
could have
right.
held solid at third. Just thought would don't play threat.
Well, look,
I will say that the strategy thing makes it a little fun. I mean, you know, guys, it's a pick'em show. If we don't play a little strategy, it's kind of stupid.
no,
But
I get it.
I will say this on the Jokey. I will, in Shaquille O'Neal fashion, I will eat the Jokey, which it will be, and this is no bullshit, my first time in my life ever eating a piece of beef Jokey.
Ooh.
Oh,
And I will
You're a
not
sheltered
make a
child.
single face while I do it. I will,
Are you?
I will
Here's
eat
a
it
question: Are you
stone
just
cold,
like
and
you
then I'll
got
give
it
my
like
Super
Shaq
Bowl.
did that day.
I do have a question. Do we count the playoff wins? Like, do we count the playoff games towards
Yeah,
the pick'em
there's
as
still
well?
weeks to go. Did we?
No.
play?
We
It was
didn't
regular
know.
season.
Last year it was the regular season, and
Wait, I thought because we picked college games last year.
Yeah,
we
but
didn't
yeah,
count
but those
that.
didn't count.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
didn't count
We
towards the
didn't count that.
standings. Yeah, we picked some bowl games, and that was a giant catastrophe. So we kind of avoided that this year. Although it has been a pretty fun bowl season at the college level.
No, Kentucky got another 10-win season.
Yeah.
Do
Here's
you know in the last 10 years, Kentucky has the same amount of 10-win seasons or has had coaches?
I believe that. There are a couple of reasons. There are
3 in 10 years.
There are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, Florida keeps hiring a bunch of bums. Second of all, Kentucky's on the up, man. I mean,
Hey,
here's the stat for you,
not
though.
You liked that hire when it happened.
I don't.
like that hire, and I hate for it.
I don't, and I'll tell you why. There were a lot of people on the market that I think would have been better. I don't hate the hire, but I don't love it. I am glad that they
Hold
didn't
on,
swipe Fickle,
I'm
though.
talking about when dude that got fired got hired.
Oh, Dan Mullen loved it. Made
Yeah,
sense.
I
But
didn't think he could lose there. I thought it was over. I thought
well,
this guy could do it.
so here's the problem. Last time when Dan Mullen ran the offense at Florida, they were the best team in the nation. The difference was that he didn't have Charlie Strong running the defense this time. He really missed the boat on his defensive coaching staff, and that was, I mean, look, let's be honest. This isn't a show about the Florida Gators, and we could talk about them all day, but it wasn't in the cards for him. I will tell you this, and here I'm going to throw out this stat, and then we're going to move back to NFL. In the last 5 seasons, Alabama has averaged 12.5 wins a season. Good stat, right? You're only guaranteed 12 games a year. Okay?
Right.
You're only guaranteed 12 games in a season, and they average a half win more than guaranteed games. That's the
There's
type
that
of
kid
juggernaut.
Growing up, that got 112% on their test. I never.
Just
the people that
remember
graduate college with an over 4-point
Right.
GPA.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, how the
Yes.
fuck?
Exactly.
I got a
Box
kid
of
I
tissues
got
do
2
these
kids that's going to
dweebs
do it.
count in?
Yeah. So
tenure of Nick Saban. Except for he was.
and they still
You
went
think he'll ever
7 and
move back
6.
to the
Never. Why would
I
you?
don't know.
I
He's-
wouldn't either.
Absolutely not.
It's just curiosity. I
Yeah.
mean,
What do you?
Open
So,
Mayo did it.
I
he
and
was
promise.
just
buried
Here's a
under
good
that
transition
football
for you. What about the reports that Harbaugh is considering going back into the NFL? What
He
does
should.
everybody think
He
of that?
absolutely should.
And I hate it because
He should.
Because the rumor is he's going to my team, and I have no desire to have him.
Well,
Jackie's in Vegas, man. Come on.
Oh,
Jackie's
I'd
in
listen.
Vegas.
But Joel
rock
Platt
it.
said on the Colin Cowherd show that everywhere Jim Harbaugh goes, he turns the program into winners.
okay.
Man.
Look.
San Francisco was-
I went
Dude,
viral
he
on.
is such a
David and Kyle.
non-Raider. It is unbelievable. I mean, he irons his freaking Walmart khakis and stuff. That is not Outlaw. We are the Raiders, the black hole.
Do you
don't
jump
get
to the Bengals?
you don't get
if he
You know,
goes
they
there?
just do
ironed
130 miles an
Walmart
hour and kill
khakis.
people.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Let's not pile on the Raiders. All right, guys. Listen.
Hey, we might go to the playoffs, but hey, I still.
Hey, look, if Jacksonville, you and LA can just handshake at the 50-yard line and take knees the whole game.
If
Yeah.
they do that and I get 0 fantasy points in this $500 entry, I am gonna lose my shit.
I saw a pretty good meme that was like Brandon Staley said, we're gonna do whatever it takes to win the game, no matter what. And it was like they should just agree before the game, like let's just kneel it out. But then, LA's got the ball last like drive of the game. They go to knee it, but Sherbert fakes the knee and throws a bomb to Mike Williams, and it's just like, and then he just flips
Mike
off
Williams.
the
Yes, I'm
leading.
all about it. If we get a bomb, if it's like 90 yards, I'll take it.
Look, I want to see Justin Sherbert do the fake slide and score a touchdown. That's what I want to see.
Hey,
As soon as that kid did that was going to be X'd out soon.
Speaking of bombs, I know that I'm bombing in the standings for Pick'em, but I did leave Jamal Chase on my bench for my fantasy championship game.
I tried to tell you,
points, and I still won the damn thing.
Oh God. Oh God.
I have him in 2 leagues. One of them I wrapped up to win.
I get a loud lump sum of cash, but
I do a belt
purchase with that
I got $600.
What is that? Is that an AEW belt?
Yeah, it's the AEW belt. It's the only belt that means.
I mean,
AEW.
I mean, Jordan. Why are you going to show up here with an AEW belt and not tell me so that we could hit the music at the right time?
Oh no! He's coming from.
We do not own the copyright to this song.
It was less than 10 seconds. Yeah, less than 10 seconds. It does not count. It does not qualify as copyright, but Facebook will still mute us, I'm sure. So we've been muted one time this year, and it was the 8 seconds of the Luke Combs song that I played when I shotgunned a Busch Light that one week. So I haven't even tried ever since then. But anyway, we got some games to get into here, gentlemen. So yeah,
Heard it from Hubie?
we don't have, Hubie forgot that we were live again this week. He thought we were off again, but Hubie is going to be back for our first playoff show. And he's going to do a longer version of You Heard It from Hubie and kind of do a good, bad, and ugly for the whole season. And I believe he's going to review two beverages and a flavor of Outlaw Jerky for everybody. So
You don't have a film?
I heard he's gonna
Do not.
Devil's Breath.
He might. He probably would. I feel like Hubie probably could eat that and not even sweat. I'm just being honest with you. So we've got 2 Saturday games. So let's talk about those really quick. Now, both of these Saturday games, they sort of have playoff implications, but more for seeding than anything else. So the first one is Denver and Kansas City. Now, obviously, Denver's out of the playoffs. Kansas City's obviously in. Kansas City losing last week to the Bengals kind of solidified them as definitely not getting the number 1 overall seed, I believe. Is that correct? He's got the same. He's got the same. He's put up. Can they still get it?
Tennessee loses, then I think they get it.
Okay.
But Tennessee wins.
If they win, they'll be 12-5. Tennessee, but Tennessee is. If they win, they get the 1. I know that for a fact.
Well, Tennessee's got the tiebreaker. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then Kansas City would be the 2.
That's right. That's right.
AFC.
That's right.
Kansas City and Tennessee both lose.
But you also have New England in the mix as well. New England's in that mix for the
and
number 1
Buffalo
seed as well. No. It's Tennessee, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and New England right now.
Yeah,
those are the 4.
I thought it was narrowed down.
Buffalo.
New England are both 10-6.
Yes, but New England carries the tiebreaker for the seeding.
Correct.
Or for the yeah.
No worries. But hey, here's a fun fact: the Browns were eliminated from the playoffs before the Vikings.
The Browns.
Yeah, rough go.
I mean, we can talk about how terrible that coaching game plan was the other night against Pittsburgh.
I don't understand how in the beginning.
Said,
I don't understand in the beginning. Ran the ball and then they decided, oh well, let's let Baker, even though he's only 60%.
Because they're the Cleveland Browns and they're still trying to prove that they were right in taking him in the first damn place.
Listen,
So I'm gonna say this about the whole Baker Mayfield situation. Baker Mayfield, I think, is the type of guy who on the right franchise, the right organization, could be a serviceable enough quarterback to field a deep playoff run. The Browns are not it. The Browns do not have the organizational structure and the overall coaching staff. I think they have the talent. That's the sad thing. They are a very talented
My
team.
buddy compared him to Johnny Manziel the other.
So here,
Would you be-
If you're Cleveland,
if you're
No.
if you're
absolutely
Cleveland,
not.
if you're Cleveland,
Absolutely not.
I bet they do.
they will. If you're Cleveland, they will, because the front office of Cleveland doesn't understand and own their part in this problem, right? They think that it's just they're waiting. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. You know, it's like when the Bengals had Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton was good enough to get them there if they got the rest of their shit in order, but he wasn't good enough to overcome all of the rest of it. And then in 2015, the Bengals had arguably the best team in the AFC that year going in. Andy Dalton goes down, they lose in the playoffs, and everything goes to shit because, again, they didn't have that catalyst to carry him over. Baker is a similar type of guy. He's better than Johnny Manziel.
I love.
He's
that you
better
brought
than
up
Johnny
Andy
Manziel. Because, to me, Baker is a PG-13 Andy Dalton. He's better than Johnny Manziel.
You know what? I would take Andy Dalton pre-knee injury over any Baker Mayfield I've seen.
Well,
It's gonna be the worst. Call it what it is. They're gonna
Well,
have the
Pittsburgh-
worst
he's-
quarterback
He
in the
might
division.
be he might be the 6th best quarterback in the division. If Pittsburgh can get somebody, Pittsburgh's been rumored to get Cousins. I don't want to turn this into a Vikings topic, but let's say Pittsburgh got Cousins. Cousins is better than him. Jackson's better than him. Joe Burrow is clearly better than him, and Tyler Huntley, the backup for the Ravens, might be better than him.
okay, hold on.
Hey, the Allen-
Right now, Tyler Huntley's at that Matt Flynn peak where he has a good game. Everyone's high. We'll see on Tyler Huntley. But yeah, I think
He can't throw the tree.
the route tree. There it is.
And Keiko?
Who had route tree on their Chris Land bingo card?
Dude, listen, I'm like 3 spots away.
I'm
It's,
just
uh,
waiting on
boy.
piggyback. I'm
Oh,
just
you want me
waiting
to
on
bring up some
piggyback.
more good stuff? Let's see. I will get some ad libs.
Get some in there. Hey, listen.
Piggyback.
There you go.
Wait, no,
Piggyback right
piggyback.
there. So yeah, I think that Baker is not the long-term solution. The issue for Cleveland, because Baker's contract is up now or in 1 year? Question mark.
They re-up him next year.
So he's got 1 year left on current contract.
He's
Right.
gonna be
Okay.
on his 5th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and then
I
it's do
think
something.
I think it's going to also depend on where they're sitting halfway through the season and how the quarterback draft class is looking next year. If they're scheduled to get a top 10 pick and there's some really good quarterbacks coming out, then I think maybe they roll the dice. I agree with you. I think next year's class is going to be better than this year. The other thing
The
too,
Heisman Trophy winners coming out.
yeah, well, there's Bryce Young obviously, but
He looks legit.
the other thing too, though, is you've got 2 guys coming up this year in Pickett and Matt Corral that I think could be really good NFL quarterbacks, but are not going to go in the top 5, top 10 picks. Maybe the Browns take somebody mid first round this year. Maybe they even go
So here,
with somebody that falls to a second round pick. I don't know what they do, but
Right.
Baker's due to make almost 19. If you're Cleveland, is he worth $19 million?
Can
That's
we
a
talk
huge
about the
cap hit.
fact- Can we talk about the fact that
18.8.
Cleveland also might be doing the thing where it's like, look, fans and media people, you remember like 3 years ago or 4 years ago when we won 1 game out of 32 possible games and we
Remember
were
when it-
terrible and we were the laughing stock of the league, and now we might go like a game under 500 and everyone's acting like the sky is falling and we need to fire the coach and do everything. It's like, if you would have talked to a Browns fan in 2015
And said, "Can I get
hey, you're
7
going
wins?"
7-10 next season, or you're going 8-9 next season, they would shit their pants. Not just because there's an extra game.
Yeah.
They'd say, "Oh my God, we're going to win the Super Bowl in like 3 or 4 years." Like that might factor in that. Like a little stability is always nice. You don't
Yeah.
always marry a 10, but you marry a sturdy 6. You got something going.
Always remember they
it's
had that
long
Bud Light.
termish anyway.
They had that Bud Light refrigerator that was chain locked.
Yep.
They left locked until they got that first win. So remember that.
yeah, I remember that day.
My wife did not like the marry a sturdy.
Well, you weren't talking about her, were you?
No, God no.
Oh, okay. Well, then tell her to just. It's not
seen
about
it.
her. It's not about her.
Solid 9.
There you go. Thanks. Chris Land
Well,
says you're a 9, honey.
Solid
Balance
9.
is out with
Chris
Jordan
Land's
being
recent-
a 2.
Listen. All I'm saying is Chris Lane has been known to say what anyone wants to hear because he's a salesman at heart. So keep it under a grain of salt. But that being
One day
said,
I will run for office.
hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's.
Dibs on selling the film of Pittygate to get him canceled.
So all right,
It's the only one with it.
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know if footage exists of it. I think I panicked. I think I panicked, deleted it so fast. It may still be on YouTube, but if it is, it's buried. It's a private video, and it's marked NSFW, which for the children at home means don't watch this on your school laptop. So
look for it tonight.
You won't find, if it's on my YouTube channel, you won't find it. I promise you. Listen, we got some games to pick here. So Saturday games, we're gonna talk about these collectively, okay? And we're gonna talk about these collectively, and I'm gonna just enjoy the camaraderie tonight and not do all the fancy logos and all that because it's a lot of work, and I just want to enjoy the show. And we're gonna pick multiple games at once. Yes.
You guys hear the report that the Panthers are interested in trading?
Why wouldn't they?
I don't blame them at all.
Why wouldn't you?
Who would take Christian McCaffrey?
I'd give a 7th round pick for him.
Who would take him?
A lot of teams. What do you mean?
A lot of things.
Imagine.
I know
Hey,
one team
hey.
that he would love to be on. The
He's
Tampa
healthy.
Bay Buccaneers.
Thank you.
Not Antonio Brown.
I'm just
There's.
telling
I
you.
think there's more to that story.
I want to hear all the
and
stats
and
about
the
that.
whole backfield of Tampa is are going to be free agent. Rojo,
They're gonna bring.
Fournette.
They're gonna bring back Big Game Lenny.
They might.
Spoiler alert.
Tampa Bay should not get into the McCaffrey
No.
role and
Here-
base their offense around a running
here-
back. That
here's
can't
what
play
you
most
do.
of
Well,
the
that's the
game.
great part. They wouldn't have to base it around it.
Here's what you do. You give a 6th or 7th round pick to Carolina for Christian McCaffrey if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, and you line up Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase, and that's the best offense that the NFL has seen in 10 years. If they put an offensive line out there.
With the first round.
Absolutely not. I'll give, and we'll put him with Lamb and Amari Cooper and Dalton Schultz in a heartbeat. We'll blow your ass out
Buddy,
of the
you
water.
guys
That's cute.
might want to think about trading up for a quarterback because Dak is
We don't need a
ass.
fucking quarterback. So is
Dak
Kirk
is
Cousins
ass.
dipshit.
No, hold on.
Who's who are we picking on the Chiefs and the Broncos?
So all right, listen. So we're gonna talk about games kind of in groups here. That's why I'm not doing the logos because there's no way for me to do this. But
Right.
let's talk the 2 Saturday games. So we got Denver hosting the Chiefs. It's an 11-point spread. Sorry, 10.5-point spread in favor of the Chiefs. Then you've got Philly and Dallas. Okay. Now that game actually matters quite a bit. Obviously, Dallas is locked in. They won their division.
Philly's locked in.
Philly's locked into the playoffs. So this is an
Very
important
well.
game for seeding, right? This is an important game for seeding.
I mean,
So
kinda. If Philly doesn't, or if Dallas doesn't want to play Philly again, because it could just be a rematch the following week
That's-
because they can match up.
that's what I'm saying. So let's start with Ship. Oh, and by the way, here's how we're gonna do this to be fair. First, Chris is gonna pick last, then Jordan, then Chris, then Jordan, then Chris, then Jordan. We're just gonna alternate. So we'll talk. Ship, go ahead and give us your stats and picks for these 2 games. Josh and I'll do the same, and then we'll let Jordan and Chris alternate.
All right, so we'll start with the Denver. It's pretty Kansas heavy as far as my stats I found this week. The Chiefs won 12 straight against the Broncos, largest win in
Wow.
franchise history. 12 straight. The Broncos are 3-8 versus
6
AFC.
years.
Broncos are 3-8 against AFC here. The Jaguars, by the way, have the worst record than that. Mahomes is 12-0 on the road versus the AFC West in his career, tied for the 2nd longest divisional road winning streak. The Broncos are 0-8 versus a team entering the game with a 7+ win. Last one was in 2019 versus the Raiders. By the way, the Broncos are 19-29 versus the Denver has not made the playoffs since 2015, if you happen to remember who the quarterback. So, in obvious essence, I think Kansas City had a pretty good run last week. I think that momentum, what we talked. I will admit, we all talked pure shit about that. And it's
Boy,
completely
you
different.
missed the boat.
Exactly.
At
So,
one point, they were plus 1,600 to win the Super.
So Kansas City in that one. So when I switch over, I believe I got reports today. COVID protocol. He's not going to be playing. Anthony Brown. And Tony Pollard also will be out. And Jaron Curse is also going to be out.
Who's the second? Who's the second back after if Pollard's up?
Clements, Corey Clements.
Oh, that's
up.
right. I almost picked him up when I thought Zeke was going to go on IR when he was kind of questionable. I thought about picking him up before they announced it, just because that was the same time when Pollard was nursing an injury too. I thought I was going to be slick, but I held back.
Hey guys. Hubie in the hizzle. What's up, Hubie?
Hey,
I got Hubie in the hizzle.
He says, "What about the lack of love for your Titans?" We haven't talked about him yet, Hubie. That's why. We're gonna get there. Keep going, Chip. Sorry.
Record-wise, they're maybe the best team in football, and they get the king back.
So look, the Cowboys are 5-0 this week. These teams last time they went undefeated in 1998. That was when the Arizona Cardinals were actually in the division. The Eagles' defense has picked it up though, from what they've allowed fewer than 20 games. Cowboys' defense on the road has allowed 20 in 5 straight road games, so both of them look good. Philly is 0-6 this season versus teams currently above 500. They were 9-1 versus teams below 500. Their only loss, by the way, was to the Giants. Zeke has 5 games of fewer than 10 carries since drafted in 2016. 4 of those games have occurred since week 11 of this season. I'm not sure about Tony. And Jalen is one of 2 quarterbacks in the NFL with 750 rushing yards and 10 plus rushing touchdowns. The other one, Kyler Murray. As far as with my Cowboys, the big thing for them to get that 2 seed is they do have to win against Philly, but they also have to have Tampa beating Carolina, Arizona beating Seattle, and LA losing to San Francisco to try to get a 2 seed. It's kind of bleak the way it looks. So between the 3 or 4 seed is where it's kind of pushing to, is where I'm seeing it. So, but I still I'm gonna go for my boys. I will never pick Philly in a Dallas Philly game. So I will take Cowboys in that one as well.
So as I look at these 2 games, I don't think the Denver Kansas City one really matters all that much, but I think there's a tremendous talent gap in between those 2 games. I don't think Kansas City is going to do anything other than just try to win this game. And they're going to do that. I mean, this is definitely Kansas City all the way. As far as Philly and Dallas, it's an intriguing matchup. Philly definitely wants to win this game. I think Philly's going to throw all the punches, but I think both teams are going to be looking a little forward to the playoffs. I don't think it's as scrappy of a game as you would typically see between these 2 teams. In the stands, it will be. The fans are going to be assholes to each other regardless, because look, I'll be honest with you. Every single NFL group that I'm in on Facebook, there's 2 things that happen. There's the Eagles fans and the Cowboys fans. They go after each other, and then everybody else is just there for the entertainment of watching them. So the fans hate each other. That's not going to change, but I think this is a little bit more low-key of a game. Dallas is definitely a better team than Philly, I think. But Dallas has shown that they're human, right? And so it wouldn't shock me if Philly pulled out an upset here. But my heart tells me Dallas is going to find a way to win this game, because Dallas does want the win. They want the highest seed they can get. They definitely don't. They want a situation where they don't have to play Philly again in the first round. And I think that the path to that, if I'm not mistaken, is to win this game and then go on. So I'm also going Dallas here. Josh, what do you think?
So the way that the playoffs are played out right now, obviously the Packers are the 1 seed, or we'll start in the AFC. Obviously the Titans are the 1 seed. The Chiefs right now would play the Chargers. If the Chiefs were to lose and the Bills or Bengals were to win and jump into that 2 seed, they would then play the Colts or the Patriots. So listen, I think you want to play the chart. Hang on. There was noise in the background. Sorry. I couldn't do it. I heard a plate. I couldn't do it.
He
Kinsey,
muted
stop
him.
for a second.
I couldn't do it.
Exactly. We
I
all read
couldn't
his
do it.
lips on that one.
So I think if you're Kansas City, you'd rather play the Chargers, Colts, or the Patriots. But I think that game's an easy pick. Kansas City. As far as the NFC goes, Eagles play the Rams right now, the 7 and the 2. The Cowboys have the Cardinals. You all saw how that played out when that game went down.
By the way, only person to pick the Cardinals. Thank you.
I'm gonna take Dallas just because if Philly wins, Philly right now they play the Rams. If they the Cowboys, I think they play them again the following week if everything plays out right. So I'm gonna take Cowgirls. But if they don't want to play Arizona first round. I can tell you that they do not want that matchup again.
By the way, Isaiah Simmons, very underrated, damn good defensive player from what I watched last week. I'll give him props. That motherfucker was all over the field last week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, also, Kyler Murray has never lost an AT.
Yeah, that's great. He's like 11-0 or something. I'll go ahead. I'll just give both my picks for this. I'm going with the Chiefs and the Cowboys. I can't pick against either one of those, especially with Philly's abysmal record against winning teams versus the ability to bully up on subpar teams this season. So I think like everybody said, Cowboys want to get to a higher seed. Draw the lowest possible team they can get. They would probably like to play one of the lower seeds, and I don't think they want to play Philadelphia again. It brings to mind, and I'm not trying to be a dick. It just does. It brings to mind. I think in 2009, the Bengals played the Jets the last week of the season. If the Jets won, rematch in the wild card round, the Jets won, and all these Bengals fans. I was in like the 6th grade. All these Bengals fans were like, "Oh, well, it's all right. Like, we weren't playing them tough. We were, we knew that we were playing them the next week. They're a wild card team. Blah blah blah." And the Jets did it to them in the wild card game. So,
thanks for bringing that up, Jordan.
I know. I'm sorry.
Good job.
When is your
Come on,
therapy
nice one.
session?
There you
Your
go. Good
therapy?
job.
13 years ago, we're still.
It's the last time I can remember
Dude,
one of these.
he was
I'm sure it's
almost
happened.
over it, Jordan.
I know.
Look.
But I just don't. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. I don't think the Cowboys want to play the Eagles playoffs just because it's oil that it happened. Those are my 2 picks.
Okay, Chris, what do you think on these 2 games, buddy?
Obviously, the Chefs. It seems to be. I can't really make a good argument for the Broncos, and then I'm going to take the Cowboys too. I do think it's going to be close, but also if the Cowboys jump out, the Eagles will bench everybody. They fall behind like 2 scores or something. Jalen Hurts is coming off the field. Yep. All their players that they can't afford to get hurt in the playoffs are coming off the field if it's not competitive. I think
Jalen Hurts almost got injured walking off the field last week. It doesn't even matter if they pull him off the field.
Washington Stadium is a dump. That place.
They need to sell that. They need to move that team to St. Louis and.
I watched that video 100 times.
Yeah, it's great.
That stadium is awesome. I've been to that stadium.
If he was on the left side of that, or whatever side, I think he was on the right side. If he was on the left side of that, and that collapsed onto him, and all of those people fell on him, he seriously could have got hurt. Like,
every minute sling.
I mean, that is dangerous.
It was scary, especially being an Eagles fan.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're unanimous on the first 2 games. I'm gonna Ship. I'm gonna throw off your order here. I'm gonna pick out a couple of games that I think are easy picks that we can get through really quickly. The first one's gonna be Detroit Green Bay. Now, here's the deal. Obviously, Green Bay didn't give a shit about this game. They're the 1 seed. They don't care. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will play. I may have even been announced that he's not playing. The spread went from 11 points. Now it's 3.5. Okay, still Green Bay favorite. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Green Bay cares so little about this game, and Motor City Dan Campbell cares so much about this game. Detroit pulls off the upset. That's my.
By the way, 5 hours ago, Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly, he's starting.
Already clinched.
Can I change my pick?
No. Lock it in.
No.
Listen, you said you saw earlier that he wasn't playing, so you went.
I assumed. I didn't say that. I just assumed. But Somebody who's smarter than me, why would the spread swing almost 8 points in 2 days?
Because Aaron Rodgers may start the game, they may go down and score 2 touchdowns, and then they pull Aaron Rodgers and put what's his nuts in the game.
All
No
right.
way that him
Adams
and
needs
Devontae.
2 yards to hit a pay escalator. So yeah.
So dumb.
Aaron
to play him,
Rodgers
though.
does have an injured
just
toe.
They
still.
can just choose to pay Devontae Adams that. The Vikings did it
That's
a couple
what
years
somebody
ago with
said
one of
on
their
the
linemen. They
other
just said bench him the last week of the season. Just give him the $600,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
It is. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
it's that.
I think that's what Bruce Arians tried with AB. He tried to bench him and just pay him, and AB was like, "No, I want to earn it
No,
honestly."
That's not what happened.
No,
that is not what
AB
happened.
didn't want to play.
He said, "I heard your shitty rap songs. Get off of my fucking football team. I'm from the pit, not the palace. I'm kind of stylish." That's how it goes. He is actually kinda catchy.
Oh,
All right, I'll go second here.
Do you have that as your ringtone too?
Yeah, I
That is
do
awesome.
actually.
It's the intro song to his OnlyFans.
I'm gonna go with Nathan.
Ah.
Listen. Get your bingo. I'm gonna piggyback off Nathan. I'm also gonna take the line. Fuck it. Why not? I don't think that Rodgers plays more than 2 series in the game. And I think Detroit plays a little harder. They play their starters and they sneak out with a win, and Green Bay finishes the year as the 1 seed and goes 13-4. So give me the Lions.
Okay. Chip.
All right. Look, Matt LaFleur's got 39 wins as a Packers head coach. That's the most by a head coach for the Packers. And actually, that's the most by any head coach in their first 3 seasons. Aaron Rodgers has a 111.1 passer rating this season. That's the highest in the NFL. Rodgers has won the NFL MVP in each of the 3 previous seasons with a 110 plus passer rating. Amon-Ra St. Brown has 8 receptions plus in 5 straight games. That's the longest streak by any rookie. Did you know he has a brother, by the way? You've got Amon-Ra and Equiminius, by the way. Great
What a
names
name.
for both of those guys.
I'm just saying. Equiminius, that kid was the smartest kid in the class as soon as he could spell his own name.
That's true. That's true.
Look, the Packers are the first team in the NFL history to have 13 plus wins in 3 straight seasons. They went 13-3 and 19 and 20. In this situation, though, I agree with you guys. Hey, let me play a quarter, whatever the case may be. I think it's longer than a couple series. I think they do keep that because you got to remember they're going to have a week off, and gameplay is a lot different than chilling at home play and on the practice field. So I think competitive wise, I still think that Green Bay is competitive. And to be honest with you, I'll take a healthy Jordan Love over a shitty Jared Goff any day. So give me Green Bay.
All right.
Let's also not forget that when these 2 teams played in Green Bay earlier in the season, Detroit was down by like 3 points at halftime. Like they played tough. It's a division game. Like people shit all over Detroit. Like they should have 6 or 7 wins.
Okay, but just think, I want you to remember, Aiden Hutchinson's going to look good in a number 97 Detroit jersey as long as they lose.
Yeah.
If they win, he ain't going.
Well,
So.
we'll see. Chris, your turn.
Packers.
That was easy.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in it unless it gets a game. If it turns into 10 points either way, he might dip out. But Aaron Rodgers is kind of running that deal over there, so I don't think he wants to sit down. So I'll take the Pack.
What do you think, Jordan?
Go with the Lions. I think Aaron Rodgers, I think he's gonna get sacked. I think he's gonna get hit like once, and I think the Packers are gonna tuck their tails and say no, we'll get him out of there. I don't know, maybe
Kahunas, hombre.
I don't know where Ndamukong Suh is playing nowadays, but I think
Miami.
the Lions should sign. The Lions should sign him to a 10-day contract and have him step on his foot.
I hate these 10. Shut up with these 10-day contracts. I hate.
Bring him up from the G League.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Cool.
side note, look up the Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers when they talk about Pittsburgh. Watch that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Very, very interesting, though. Very interesting. Next game on the docket. This should be a quick one for us as well. Is anybody on the panel going to pick the Jacksonville Jags to upset the Colts? Anyone at
No.
all?
No.
Do you have any compelling stats for that one?
Yeah.
No.
Urban Meyer said that they had to wear a specific hoodie when he was at Ohio State when they weren't allowed to. That's all I know about.
The Indy hasn't beat Jacksonville there in like 6 years. Something
Yeah,
like that.
that's
Colts,
the stat.
Colts have lost 6 straight road games in Jacksonville since 2015. They're 10-4 in the first 14 road games, which was 95 to 2014. The Jags, though, have lost 8 straight games, which is the longest active. The Jags are 3-29 since the start of last season of 2020.
They're terrible.
The Colts are 9-2 in games this season when Carson Wentz has fewer than 35 pass attempts. They're 0-5 when he throws it more than 35 times. The Jags' 2 wins this season are against teams that are combined 18-14. Their 563 strength of schedule is actually the best in the NFL, so they had the toughest. In case you're wondering, Trevor Lawrence has the worst QBR rating out of any quarterback in the NFL.
Shocker.
At 69.6. And Jonathan Taylor will be the youngest player in NFL history with 2,000 scrimmage yards and 20-plus touchdowns in a season. I'm sure that's what helped Chris Land win his fantasy this year.
Chris Land was all on the Jonathan Taylor train, that's for sure.
He was.
Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor on 3 of 5 teams.
Yeah, and I do have to say, beginning of the season, the hot take from Josh Hawthorne was that Carson Wentz would bring an MVP trophy home to Indianapolis. He's going to get the right team, just not the right player. I'll say that. So he was halfway there.
Listen, Jonathan Taylor, Carson doesn't have to do anything. He just has to manage the game and hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor.
What a phenomenal opportunity for Carson Wentz to revitalize his career in Indianapolis.
That man is nuts when he runs around. And I want to call everybody out because I watched the Colts play the Patriots, and I was all about, Indy's going to the Super Bowl. Indy's going to the Super Bowl, and you guys are like, oh, shut up. And then every single one of you picked the Colts over New England and jumped on that bandwagon train quicker than shit.
I fucking didn't.
I don't think that's true, Josh.
Shit, did you not?
Yes.
Oh, Jordan didn't. Okay, so Jordan stuck to his.
What are we talking about? A couple weeks ago, or what are we?
The Indy New England game.
Oh yeah, Jordan's the only one that picked the Pats.
Everybody jumped over there pretty quick.
I picked Indy multiple times at the beginning of the season. If you want to check, when they were 0-2, 0-3, I was still picking them. So,
listen, well, I'm the one that said they were going to the Super Bowl, and everybody laughed at me. So here we go. Now I will backtrack.
They're going to have to beat Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's coming back.
My aunt had a penis.
Derrick Henry's coming back.
How do we know she doesn't prove it? And we went quiet with that one. All right. Next, so we're going Indy across the board. Next game that I assume we're going to be across the board on, we've got 2. We're going to pick 2 at a time here. We've got Houston and Tennessee. Tennessee's a 10-point favorite. And we've got the Jets and the Bills. Buffalo is a 16.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to take both the favorites in that one.
Yeah, I'm taking the favorites.
No objections.
Okay. Ship, are there any out of the ordinary compelling stats? Not necessarily this quarterback won this many games, but
hang on, let me look. Let me just go through my little thingy while you
gonna go through his little thingy, y'all.
The gray sweats ain't for everybody, Chris.
So Titans running backs have combined for 223 carries and 996 yards since week 9. Derrick Henry led the NFL with 219 carries and 937 yards rushing from weeks 1 through 8.
Yeah,
it took multiple running backs to equal the production of one.
It took Jonathan Taylor 5 weeks to catch Henry after Henry was hurt. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
And Hubie pointed that out in the chat, by the way. Credit to Hubie.
The Bills have defeated the Jets by 8+ points in each of their last 3 matchups. Rookie quarterbacks this year are 3-6 and have a combined 4 passing touchdowns and 15 interceptions versus Sean McDermott's Bills. And Zach Wilson has 0 interceptions in 4 straight games, by the way. So he's on a roll because he had 1+ interception in 7 of his first career 8 games.
There you go.
He's hot as shit.
There you go. Should have been a Viking.
Elite.
Should have been a Viking.
Like Jameis.
Should have been a Viking.
Hey, you know what though? You know the best comparison I ever heard? if Trayvon Diggs is an elite quarterback, then Jameis Winston, or is an elite cornerback, then Jameis Winston is an elite quarterback because they're the same. They're the
Well,
same.
Trayvon is not elite.
It's
Trayvon is not elite.
Trayvon Diggs is interception or touchdown. Jameis Winston, interception or touchdown. There you go. Funny how that works.
Well, no, Jameis still threw touchdowns. It was just to the wrong fucking guy.
No, he threw touchdowns to
Trayvon
his
just
guys
gives up
too.
touchdowns.
How
Trayvon
was
just
Derrick
gives up.
Henry a second-round draft pick.
What's that?
How was Derrick Henry drafted in?
His running backs
Because
don't matter.
because before he came into the league, running backs of his size were never as fast or elusive like he is. He's broken the mold.
You know who the offensive coordinator was in Tennessee that started Derrick Henry? That was like, hey, we should probably start this guy.
The offensive coordinator.
Uh-huh.
Was it,
It was before.
Green Bay's head coach?
Well, it was LaFleur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was
He said,
before
"Hey."
Vrabel. It was Jeff Fisher who drafted him, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
And LaFleur was the OC.
You're right back up.
Anyway, sorry, I just thought that was
Yeah,
interesting.
he took 2 or 3 years to get going because I used to take him late in every one of my fantasy
By,
drafts.
by
and
the
he
way,
would
by the way,
blow up.
Hubie aced your trivia question in the chat immediately with zero hesitation.
Hey,
would
by the
hope
way,
a
no.
Titans fan would.
It was not Jeff Fisher. It was Mike Mularkey, who was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans in
Yeah.
2016.
He
He only had 490 yards, by the way, his first season.
Yeah, no, he was like the second running back. He was not like considered elite or anything, but it was funny. Like if you look at his game history, not necessarily his rookie year, later in the seasons, he would always have like these huge, 200-yard games, and he would, get me deep into fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
early in his career,
Derek-
so he was the consensus number 2 pick.
Derrick Henry is an anomaly because men of his size cannot move. It's not physically possible for them to move the way that he moves. In much the same way that the league spent 20 years trying to figure out how to handle, the bus, Jerome Bettis, and they never really did because he was such a large person who moved so quickly for his size. And that was in the days.
Could you?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just say, could you name the running back that was ahead of him on the depth chart when he got drafted?
Wasn't Chris Johnson?
Ahead of
Derrick Henry when he got drafted.
it was
Does he still play?
No.
I don't know.
no, it was it wasn't Deion Lewis. It was Chris Johnson was already gone.
He's trying. I'll give him props for that. He's working through it.
What college did he go to?
Oklahoma.
What-
Adrian
oh,
Peterson.
Was it Adrian Peterson? No.
No, God, no, he was a Viking.
So just remember, this player also played for the Cowboys for a little bit.
DeMarco Murray.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Shady. Yeah, DeMarco
That
Murray.
was the leading running back for Tennessee the year that they drafted.
And you know
Derrick
what?
Henry,
And
along with Antonio Andrews, by the way.
you know what? DeMarco Murray had all the shades of being a great NFL back and just never materialized. It's really sad. But
Oakland for a little
Jalston
bit.
Fowler was also a running back out of Alabama. He actually got
never heard of her.
6 starts. Derrick Henry got 2 starts. DeMarco got 16 starts.
Never heard of her. So
Somebody, when we get ahead on time, somebody remind me. I have a question. Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
I wanna ask you.
okay, gotcha. Next game we're gonna pick. Like I said, we're going through the easy ones so that we can save some time for discussion on the other ones. Let's see. Catch up on chat here. Michael Hurlbut Senior's here. Paul Huber's here. Brianna Michelson's here. Jesse Pence is here. He's an Eagles fan, so we're gonna ignore him.
Yeah, I noticed he was talking shit about me. I saw that.
Well, your team at least, but Jesse's a good guy. Next game on the docket, and we're gonna pick this game, and let's see if we pair it with another one. No, we're gonna do this one by itself. All right, we got Tampa Bay hosting the Panthers. Tampa Bay's an 8-point favorite. I'm gonna start. Tom Brady is, on his way to probably another Super Bowl ring. I mean, whether we want to admit it or not. No, I agree with you. I don't think Tampa Bay goes back to back, but I do think Tampa Bay wins this game. I think there's really nothing to tell me that Carolina's equipped. Even kind of in a lame duck week, I do still think Tampa Bay is interested in winning for seeding. I think they're the 3 seed right now. Someone correct me. I don't have the standings pulled up. But I'm going with Tampa Bay. Josh.
I'm also going with Tampa Bay.
Oh, Jordan's jumping the gun. Okay.
He's trying to get ahead of Chris. He's trying to get ahead of Chris.
There's nothing to say. If Chris picks the Panthers, then he wants to eat Jerky. He just wants a free bag. The Panthers are terrible.
Josh.
So
I'm taking Tampa Bay. I don't know what Carolina's going to do. Cam came back and the whole I'm back.
Hasn't
blah, blah,
won.
blah. It's just they
Losing
don't have a
streak
quarterback.
losing streak extends 4 games into the previous tenure with Carolina.
I genuinely, and I'll eat it. I genuinely thought when Sam Darnold went there, I was like, oh, like they, maybe he'll succeed. Nope, missed
Can't
on
throw the
that
tree.
one.
Ass.
Whiffed,
Ass.
whiffed
throw
on
the
that
tree.
one. So
I've been
I'm
pounding the table about how ass Sam Donald was since everyone was like, "Oh, the Browns should take Donald. He's clearly better than Baker." And I look for all the shit we gave Baker for half an hour earlier. He's a million times the quarterback that Sam Donald's ever been.
I'm curious to see what they do. I've heard rumors of like Russell Wilson potentially going over there, but I have a hard time seeing Seattle shipping him within the NFC.
I think they draft Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett.
They're
From
going
what
to
I've read,
struggle again next year. Then and now you're talking about sending off your best offensive weapon. Your receivers can't catch a ball like that. That franchise, their offense is a mess. Their defense may be pretty stable, but give me Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay struggled against the Jets last week. They got to come out and prove a point, and run it up against Carolina.
If McCaffrey, this is the one thing I'll say about the game. And this is for next season.
And the Bucks are a 3 seed right now.
If McCaffrey can find it within himself to play 13 or 14 games next season, it's the perfect destination for a rookie quarterback. You have an elite running back. You have your wide receivers might not be like great, but they have their defense should be on the up and up. I like Brian Bones. I like their secondary. It would be a really good spot for a rookie to land. But this season they're terrible.
I mean, the Bucks lose this game, the Cowboys win. Cowboys would jump to maybe they have the same record.
they still need San Francisco to win.
Well, the Cowboys could jump to the 3, could they? Could they jump Tampa Bay? Do they? No. Tampa Bay has the head-to-head, don't they? It's week 1. They wouldn't jump them.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay wants to win this game mainly just because that's kind of the way that Tom Brady is. I don't think it's really all that important for them, but I think the reality is Carolina's not going to win the game. I mean, Chip, Chris, what are you guys taking?
So, look, it came out a while back that Don Capers, the GM of the Panthers, basically is having buyer's remorse with Matt Rule. The contract they gave him, the amount they gave him, he is barely, in his NFL season, he is 10-22 as a head coach, which is the worst winning percentage by a head coach in his first 2 seasons at any team. So there's already talks from what I've been reading, about Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City. Jim Caldwell's name has come up. I've even read reports of, because the reports are Seattle, they remove Pete Carroll and they remove Russell Wilson. So I've heard that. So I do agree that they're all over the place and they've got to have some sort of stability. And I think Dom Capers is probably going to rip the guts out of this team in the offseason. It might be a fire sale, so we'll see. But look, Brady's 3-0 versus the Panthers. Brady's only been pressured, which I found this interesting. He's only been pressured 15% at a 15% rate this season, which trails Derek Carr as the lowest unqualified quarterbacks. So the pressure's not really getting to Brady, which allows him to stand there and bounce with his one glove. Panthers are 2-11 since starting 3-0, which they're tied for the worst record in the NFL during that span with Jacksonville. So, but the defense for the Buccaneers is a lot better, so I like them. So give me Tampa.
Just give me Tampa.
Give Chris Tampa. Not much else to say, huh, Chris?
Well, we could talk another 5 minutes, but everybody took the same damn team. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, next game that we're gonna pick. We're gonna talk this one. We're gonna talk this one out. There's some seeding implications here. We're gonna talk Bengals Browns. I don't think there's a ton to say. I'll be shocked if Burrow plays much at all.
He's not playing at all.
No, he's sitting.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me. I mean, obviously,
Brandon Allen.
He tweaked his knee a little bit at the end of the game last week. Didn't stop him from the Crip walking in the locker room with a stogie in his mouth because Joey Burr is my guy. But
wearing
he is Joe Cool.
Wearing his Parks and Recs football jersey with no name on the back.
Yeah. What happened? Did it get ripped off? Like what?
Really, the guy went to go tackle him and grabbed the back of his jersey and literally got his finger in between the nameplate and just pulled it. And ripped it out.
Cincinnati is it that bad of an organization that they have an outdoor practice facility and they Velcro on the nameplates?
Not Velcro. Their sewing machine just it needs updated.
He
you
just
know?
missed a
Fun
couple
fact-
stitches.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
it's not a sewing machine. The Bengals were named after a stove company, Bengal Stove Company. Thought it was a sewing machine.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, with that being said, I think the Bengals definitely want to win this game, but not at the expense of Joe Burrow. I think they'll accept their seeding, as it were. They're guaranteed, obviously, a top 4. So I'd love for them to be the 2 seed. I don't want any part of Indianapolis in the first round as a Bengals fan, but I don't know. I mean, I frankly, I'm going to take the Bengals because I don't ever in my life want to pick the Browns, and I'm just going to I'm going to take the Bengals and leave it at that.
I'm gonna. Oh, I'll let Chris.
I went last
Me,
time.
I'm gonna
sir.
take the Browns just because I don't. The only thing the Bengals are really gonna play for is the 1 seed. Gotta have some things fall your way.
It's not worth getting Burrow hurt because
No, it's
So
not.
that's
worth
out of
getting
their
anybody
control.
Hurt. Cleveland's done. You know, maybe they start to run the ball a little bit because now Baker's not playing. We've all said, you know, we think that with I'm blanking on the
Keenum.
Thank you, Keenum. When Keenum plays, that offense runs better anyways.
it does. It does.
The fact.
So I'm gonna go Cleveland because I don't think the Bengals care. They made their playoffs. Their big game comes next week, not in a couple days.
If I'm Cleveland, I cut ties with Baker and potentially look at making sure that Keenum is locked in for the next 2 to 3 years as a transitional quarterback.
I've
to
heard
you.
rumors are going after Deshaun.
He fits the
Pull
bill.
the trigger.
Why not?
That's what I've heard.
Why
That's
not?
what I've read.
Chip.
So, from what I'm reading, there's actually a possibility that Jamar is probably going to sit after starting. He's not going to play that much.
He's
CJ
like 8
Uzama,
yards or something.
yeah, Uzoma didn't practice at all. DJ Redder's also questionable. Jalen Davis and Cam Sample also missed practice. So, you know, by the way, did you know Myles Garrett ain't had a sack in 3 straight games, which is the longest he's ever had?
Because he realized if he did that again, if he kept doing it, he was going to get a felony charge.
Yeah, well, Jamar Chase, by the way, is the first rookie with multiple games of 200-plus yards receiving since 1950.
Jamar Chase, offensive rookie of the year.
Penei Sewell, offensive.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
Penei Sewell. There we
Yeah.
go.
Fuck off.
Look,
I ain't
Chubb's
seen Penei
averaging-
Sewell catch 1 ball.
So check this out. I did find this interesting, though. Nick Chubb has averaged 5.29 yards a carry in his career. Only Gale Sayers, the Hall of Famer, has averaged more among running backs in their first 4 seasons in the NFL. So I thought
It's
that was
good company.
Exactly.
Who you taking, Chip?
Cleveland.
Oh,
I
you
don't
dog.
I trust a 60% Baker Mayfield over a Brandon Allen that can knee the ball really
Baker's
good.
not playing.
Okay, Case Keenum. I'll even better. I'll take Case Keenum over Brandon Allen, who can knee the ball.
I would be fine with Case Keenum as our backup, but I don't know.
Where did Brandon Allen even go to school? I don't even know who he is.
Why?
I thought he was related to Josh.
Josh Allen went to Wyoming. Brandon Allen, I think, went to Eastern Washington.
See,
He went to Fotis College.
He went to Arkansas.
That explains why he's
okay.
terrible.
There we go. Okay.
Who's going? Chris or Jordan? Who went last
I
I
time?
went last time.
Chris, go.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he
I
did.
said I'll take the Bucks and we can talk for 5 minutes if you want to.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
All right, Chris, who you got?
Nope.
You
No,
went
went
last
last
time.
time.
I know, so you got to pick now. You pick first.
Jordan hasn't
You
picked
pick-
yet.
Yeah, Jordan has a pick.
Jordan picked before you last game. Now you have to pick before Jordan this game.
All right, I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Browns. Okay.
Are you in a
Browns
tanning
also
bed, by the way?
Cincinnati on the ground, and Bengals are trying not to get hurt, and they'll probably Browns probably run a better offense with the guys they got it behind the quarterback, and they're just going to run it down their throat again.
Jordan.
No dispute here. Fun fact on the Jamal Chase versus Penei Sewell thing. The Vikings' backup center has more catches this year than Penei Sewell. So there's a fun fact for you.
Interesting.
But I'm going with the Browns as well. I'm not gonna put the spicy jokey on the line on Brandon Allen and a ragtag group of misfits trying to get it done. And no, it's not.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Next game on the docket: Minnesota and the Bears. Minnesota is currently favored by 5.5 points at home.
This game is meaningless. Give me Minnesota.
Josh says, doesn't matter. Minnesota. I'll agree with Josh. I'm going
This game is
Minnesota.
pointless. There's no implications. There's nothing. Hopefully, Mike Zimmer gets fired on Monday and Kirk Cousins is traded on Tuesday. So
It's
Well, this is
asinine.
a battle of coaches that are basically both going to be fired on Monday.
Mhm.
We can agree with that. They're both gone.
yeah.
Mhm.
There's a better chance that Zim makes it, but
I'll give you that.
yeah, that there. I think there's a very strong possibility both these coaches are looking for a job next year
Chip.
on Monday.
Chip, who you taking?
Chicago.
Yes.
Andy Dalton's playing quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right,
Vikings
so
And he looked good. Andy Dalton looked good last week moving that football. I mean, he was.
They also
he was-
played the Giants.
I don't give a shit who they were playing. When
I mean,
I'm just saying,
I mean,
NFL players are NFL players. What
you're
I'm saying is he
listen,
looked
but-
more consistent.
but we're talking.
So going with the Chicago Bears. It's asinine to me that Cousins is playing in this game, and all Vikings fans are unanimous in that, because even if you don't like Cousins, you can't trade him if he blows his knee out. If you do like Cousins, he's not playing next year if he blows his knee out. So, it's dumb that he's playing. We drafted a quarterback in the third round out of A&M,
Kellen
Kellen
Mond.
Mond. He came in through like two passes, one of them directly to a Green Bay Packer that got dropped. It was insane. But it was, and then they immediately put Sean Mannion back in. Mike Zimmer, honestly, like, this is just it's a perfect example this season of his philosophy of my way or the highway, no matter what. I don't care if it costs us games, it costs us wins. It is what it is. He's been stubborn. The Vikings took a first round graded offensive guard in the third round as well this season. Wyatt Davis, he only fell because of knee injury. Hasn't seen the field. He saw the field like once on a field goal. Has not been in. All reports say he looks great in practice. He is going to be a starting guard for the Vikings at some point next season with the new coaching staff. But Mike Zimmer is so stubborn, and he doesn't want to play any rookies because he wants to play the proven veteran over the unknown rookie. He just won't play him, even though the Vikings have had a terrible right guard all season long. So, Mike Zimmer, great guy. A lot of fun years watching the Vikings with Josh and my dad under the Mike Zimmer regime. The third winningest coach in Vikings history behind Bud Grant and Dennis Green, and now it's time for us to go get another husky black man to be our head coach and Eric Bieniemy and run the '98 thing back, and it's fucking go
And
time, boys.
Listen, Bieniemy started his coaching career in
As
Minnesota.
Adrian Peterson's running backs coach, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it, and call me fucking nutso. Cousins is playing for us next season. We're not trading him. And just like Warren Moon, or whoever the hell it was in '98, we're drafting Chris Olave, and he's going the fuck off. We don't need a wide receiver. We got Justin Jefferson. We had Chris Carter.
Olave is not even the best receiver at Ohio State.
Bam.
No, he's not even. He's number. I'd give him 2. I'd put him 2.
I like old Olive Bun. Either way, I think the Vikings are going to go in an offensive direction, and next year hopefully it's a fireworks show. But if you want to hear more extended thoughts about that, check out Load the Box on Wednesday nights. But other than that, it's Chicago for me.
That was a very long rant for a game that means absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks.
Hey, you picked Chicago.
Thanks, Jordan. Chris,
He did take Chicago.
are you agreeing with him, or are you taking Minnesota?
I'm taking Minnesota.
Attaboy.
If they're gonna play Kirk Cousins against a team that Chicago team that's probably ready to quit, that means he might sling it 50 times. And
Love
because
it.
Like you said, it means nothing. So if I got to match weapon for weapon in a game that don't mean anything, I know I'm taking Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook will run the ball 38 times in this.
Good.
It is Mike Zimmer football. God damn it.
Yeah, well,
If you don't like it, go home.
luckily,
Yeah, go the fuck home.
luckily, we don't have to hear your ass bitch about Zimmer anymore when he gets fired on Monday. Next game is the red.
I
The
think
red.
every time Carlson kicks a field goal.
What do they call? What's the new team name? Is it the Red Tails?
Sisms.
The Red
No.
Tails, the Admirals.
Yeah,
They haven't come out yet. then,
No,
I thought.
they leaked it.
I thought it was
They
the
leaked-
red.
Thought it was.
leaked
Yeah,
a
but then
picture
they
that showed the
recanted.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, they can say
Yeah.
that. But
So
when
we
it comes
got
out-
Washington and the Giants. Washington's favored by a full touchdown and an extra point here. I'm gonna start this out. It's really simple. This game is also meaningless. Washington wins.
Jake Farm, State Farm
Did-
Stouting.
did
Yes, I believe so.
did the Giants come out? Are they keeping Daniel Jones next year?
Don't know.
No, I don't
Don't
think
know.
so.
Doesn't
They
doesn't
gotta
matter for
they
this
gotta get a
Sunday
new
though.
GM.
That's-
He's out for the season, but they got to get a new GM.
I knew he's out
anyways.
for the season. I'm gonna take Washington. I can't.
Well,
I can't.
next
take.
year's only his 4th year.
Are they playing in
Um,
the dump or are they playing in the other dump?
It's in the
It's in
Meadowlands.
MetLife.
Yeah, it's in the
Okay, so it's
Meadowlands.
in the second dump.
So
not
sh-
the okay. Yeah,
Ship briefly. Who are you taking?
Oh, Washington.
Washington. All right. And let's see whose turn is it to go last.
I'm
should
taking the
be-
fighting Joe Biden's.
Is that Washington?
That is. I'm calling him whatever the sitting president's name is. The fighting insult name that the fighting DeSantis is to you.
That's weird. That's why Washington was a lot better last year than they are this year. I digress. Chris, go ahead.
Chris, you're muted.
Chris, you're muted.
Sorry, they were peaking at the right time with that other guy.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Who do you got? You got Washington or you got the Giants?
I got Washington. I mean, I picked them to win the Super Bowl. It's Week 18. Let's just ride that.
Fair enough.
I
Next,
cannot believe we already made it this far.
next on the docket, we've got Baltimore and Pittsburgh in another very meaningless game. I'm going Pittsburgh because Ben's gonna win his last game. Josh, what do you think?
If Najee Harris doesn't run for almost 200 yards against Cleveland
And that,
Monday night game,
yeah.
Baltimore.
If the Cleveland had a decent coaching staff,
Baltimore.
Okay. Chip.
God, Huntley starting for Baltimore. The Ravens have lost 5 straight. Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. All
TJ
right.
Watt breaks the sack record in this game.
for
I don't know, he's
sure.
got to catch him first.
He will.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Chris.
Land is
Count.
up.
There should be an asterisk.
I'm
next to
up.
that
I have
too,
to
by
go
the way.
first.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
went
'cause
last
I
last
picked-
time.
I picked the Vikings and the
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, Jordan jumped on one of them.
What do you think, Chris?
I hate them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going Ravens. I'll take the home team.
He's
I'm not
going
sure.
Baltimore. Jordan, who you got?
You fucking idiot.
Jesus.
No,
Wow.
I'm going with the Steelers. I'm excited for Big Ben's post NFL career.
As what?
Don't let your daughters go into bowels alone. That's all I'll say. Especially
Big
on
Ben
a,
and Tony
Bill
Romo
from Miami
in
of
the CBS
Ohio.
he's out there taking what he wants. But no, Big Ben legitimately, I do think this is gonna be so emotional, like for the Steelers organization. And it is. You can shake your head legitimately. I mean, come on, it's his last game as a Steeler. He's won them Super Bowls. He's been their quarterback for 20 years. Like, it's gonna be emotional for Big Ben. And I'm excited. I'm not excited. I really don't like either one of these teams. But it is going to be a neat moment to see Big Ben kneel out, the end of his career. And they're still alive in the playoffs. I think they just need like a tie later on in the evening or something. So the Steelers win, and then they wait for the damn near impossible to happen. Chris Land, you're still muted.
They need the Colts to lose and a tie in the Vegas game.
There you go. So if everything it's a 1 in a million shot, but I mean, wouldn't we shit our pants for the wild card round if the Steelers are playing instead of Toledo's, Chargers, Colts, or the Colts are in? I don't know. It would be crazy, but I'm taking the Steelers.
Fair enough. Next on the docket, and we're into the afternoon games now. Late afternoon games. We've got Atlanta and the Saints. Saints are favored by 3.5. Again, another meaningless game, but I don't know. What do you guys think on this one?
Atlanta.
Josh,
I'm sorry, Cordero Patterson, comeback player of the year. If they had one, I mean, he's been a game changer. I'm just gonna take Atlanta.
Oh God, I don't like this.
I don't, Josh. You can think about it. I don't think you can win comeback player of the year just because you were ass the season before that, and then you got good.
I'm just saying.
I'm
Realistically,
I'm gonna use my one. Get your bingo cards out. I'm piggybacking off of the Atlanta pick.
Bingo!
And I'm taking Atlanta, and here's why. Every time I pick Atlanta, they lose. But it seems like every time Ship picks Atlanta, they win. So I'm gonna literally piggyback and just hitch my wagon to the pick'em champion.
That's a double jinx. Like that's a double negative. You can't.
We'll see what happens.
Doesn't
We'll
work
see what
that
happens.
way. I'm gonna go New Orleans.
Jordan, you picked Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Nice pussy.
Thanks.
Hashtag Pussygate.
Is that Tebow?
No.
No, Tebow's orange and he's a dick.
No Tebow.
They found that cat behind a Chinese restaurant.
No. No. His name is Baloney, and he wants down. No, his name is Trooper, and we fostered some kittens, and apparently one of them didn't make it back to the shelter. So that's what happened. So he's so much like a dog, it's hilarious. But he's not a part of this show. So listen, I'm going Atlanta, and I don't have anything else to say about this game. This game is so meaningless. I don't even know where to begin. But so Chris, that leaves it down to you.
I'm taking the Saints because I want to make it interesting because somebody's going to eat that jerky, and I'm going to make it interesting. And
I think that's like 12 games that we'll differ on.
yeah,
there's
gonna be a swing somewhere.
Trying to give you a shot. I ain't trying to shut you out right now.
Yeah. So next, let's see. We got 4 games left in about 10 minutes. We can get through this. We've got now this is actually I think going to be a good game, and I think this does have some meaning to it. We got the Rams and the 49ers. I'm going to go. I know that the 49ers have been kind of the Rams daddy here recently. I'm going 49ers because Matt Stafford has played like baby back schoolgirl ass the last couple games, and I don't think it's going to turn around. I think Stafford's beyond he's definitely beyond the peak. He's in the twilight of his career. I think don't listen to Josh about Stafford as a career, but definitely listen to Josh when it comes to Stafford this season. Garbage. 49ers win this game.
I think he has like 12 wins in his whole career, and 10 of them of this season. Like, what are we talking about?
Listen, his stats are so padded, it's not even funny. And me and Titus and Nathan were in a group chat the other day when we were playing.
Don't bring that up because you embarrassed yourself. Yes, you did.
He is terrible. His stats look so good because he plays from behind 21 points when he was in Detroit. He gets all these passing yards and everything, whatever. Now you put him behind a good offensive line, and he has weapons all over the place, and he's ass. So if he plays like
he is not ass.
He is ass.
Okay, finish yours, and I'll give you my take.
Correct. He is overhyped. He is not a top 5
finish, and I'll give you my take.
He is not a top 5.
All right, so Josh is taking the Niners.
I'm taking the Rams because I'm not.
You
just because he's overrated, I'm not taking. Listen, Chris said it earlier. If you're going weapon on weapon, I'm taking the Rams. But when it comes playoff time, I won't be surprised if they get bounced first. They needed that first round bye and they didn't get it.
I hate you,
Chris. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to tell you that Cooper Kupp is getting ready to try to break a whole bunch of like season-long records.
There needs to be an asterisk because there's an extra game.
Oh, vagina! I'll let you speak, and now I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Did you know that the 49ers' top 3 defensive backs are out of this game against the Rams defense? Now
and Trey Lance might be stopped.
Now you do.
I took the Rams.
I'm just saying you were all about
I thought you took the Niners.
No, he took the. He
went on a giant.
I said Matt Stafford is overrated, but I'm taking them against the Niners because.
Oh my God! Why didn't you just start with that? Look, hey guys, I'm going to take the Niners, but this is why I'm not trusting them in the playoffs because of you. God, you gave me a headache.
I'm sorry, Chip. Listen, Stafford's overrated and he's overhyped, and the Rams have realized. But I'm picking them in this game because think they are a better football team then the San Francisco 49ers.
So Chris, who went away?
I think he was taking the Rams.
I thought he did too. Ship, who did you take? Chris, did you take the Rams? He's muted.
Yes.
Okay, Ship, who did you take?
Rams.
Okay, and Jordan.
Rams. Yeah, it's the Niners are too banged up. Hopefully they get healthy for the playoffs.
There's a way that Saints can still get in. Something has to. There's a way the Saints can still get in.
There is, and there's a way the Niners can get in.
No, the Niners are in right now. The Niners are the 6 seed. Eagles are the 7. But there's a way that I think the Saints.
But San Francisco's got to win. They got to beat the Rams to get in, right?
No, they're locked right now. They're in right now.
The Niners are.
But if they lose, they fall out.
They clinch with a win or a Saints loss. So they're not clinched. There's still a way that the Saints can jump the Niners and get in.
We already established that.
Yeah, that's
both of them are losing.
So anyway, this cat is about to get yeeted if he jumps up here one more time. Seahawks Cardinals is next game on the docket. Arizona 6.5 point favorites. I'm going to start out Arizona, much better team. They're gearing up for the playoffs. Seattle's in shambles. One of the most embarrassing teams in the NFL this year. I'm going Arizona.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say about it is I'm going Arizona. Little tidbit about Seattle. I did pick up Rashad Penny like 4 weeks ago, and my God, he won me that game that I benched Chase. So good on Rashad Penny for coming back and having a strong end of the winning me a bunch of money, but they're not a good team. And I think, in my opinion, Pete Carroll leaves. You do anything you can to keep Russell Wilson, and you just get a new coach. You don't let go of the franchise quarterback over the 71-year-old head coach. This is my 2 cents.
Agreed.
I'm going Arizona, and I think Arizona makes it championship game. I don't know who they're playing against, but they started the year off hot. They hit a wall for a little bit with everybody being injured. Now they're starting to heat back up a little bit. They're getting hot at the right time again, and I mean that offense with Tyler's just dynamic. So I think Arizona, and I think they make a run into the championship game in the NFC.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Ship, what do you got here?
So and what I hate about it real quick is that I think Pete was a great coach. Still is a great coach. But check this out. The last 2 times the Seahawks lost 10 plus games in a season, their head coach didn't return the following season. Jim Mora, Mike Holmes. Both of them gone after 10 plus. So this is only the second time that the Seahawks have missed the playoffs since they've drafted Russell Wilson. That was in 2017. And the Seahawks have more losses this season than their previous 2 combined seasons. Yeah, and I watching that game last week, like I said, I like the way that Arizona's defense looked. You know, it's very underrated. I believe it's a top 10 defense to me. Chandler Jones, Isaiah Simmons, Buddha, which he blitzed like every other down. And they did very good at swatting the ball at the line of scrimmage. I think that was a big plus for them. So I'll take Arizona as well.
All right. Who's supposed to pick this game?
I do.
Go ahead.
I'm taking Arizona. Home team. The Seahawks have played better the last couple of weeks, I feel like. But I think the Cardinals are looking at goals, and the Seahawks are trying to get home. So I'll take the Cardinals.
Northwest team traveling southwest. Going to be a tough matchup.
There you go.
Okay.
So we got 2 games left on the docket. One of them.
I had that for bingo as well.
Did you? Do I say that a lot? Docket.
Yeah.
Wait, don't we have 3 left?
I showed 2.
Bills, Jets, Pats, Dolphins.
We picked Bills and Jets.
We picked the Bills and Jets. Yeah.
Everybody took the Bills.
Yeah, we did one of those. Everybody say your pick all at once. 1, 2, 3, and everybody went Bills. You just missed it.
My bad. I just forgot. I forgot.
Are you taking the Jets, Jordan? Is that what you're trying to say?
You know what? Zach Wilson. No.
All right. Last two games. We've got Miami and New England. New England's favored by 6.5 on the road. I'm sure New England's not mad to be playing in South Florida this time of year. And then we've got the Chargers and the Raiders, the Sunday night game. Chargers are currently 3-point favorites. That game obviously has tremendous playoff implications. I'm going to start and give you my picks for both. I think that New England pulls this one out, but I think Miami gives them hell. I think Miami's got something to prove here at the end of the season. Mac Jones has impressed me for a rookie. He's not going to win Rookie of the Year. That being said, I think New England is poised to maybe shake some shit up in the playoffs. I think they win this game. And frankly, I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm not sure who's going to win the Vegas Chargers game, but I think the Chargers are a better, they're a better organization. They're better coached, obviously. That goes without being said this year. I think the Chargers win this game, but I think Vegas keeps it close. So that's where I'm at. Josh?
I'll go second. I'm also taking New England. And then the playoff implications in the last game. It's win and you're in, so it's essentially a playoff game.
Right.
For Vegas and LA. Give me the Chargers. Raiders have been too wishy-washy. They've had a terrible season with off-field distractions and everything. Right now, if everything stays the same, first-round matchup, Patriots at the Bills. So hopefully it'll be another 70-mile-an-hour gusts of winds, and we can watch New England run the ball 72 times again in that game.
There you go.
But
That's so awesome.
I hated it.
Smash mouth.
I hated it. It
Chip?
was boring.
What do you think on these?
Sorry. All right, so fun fact, Bill Belichick has 10-plus wins for the 19th season as the head coach. It's the most such seasons by any coach in a single team in an NFL history, probably college too, if you want to throw Nick Saban in there somewhere. All right, so look, Mac Jones is the fourth rookie quarterback in NFL history with 10-plus wins and 20-plus touchdowns. The other three will be a guy by the name of Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, and Dak Prescott. Dick.
Ass.
Okay. New England's averaging 27 points a game, allowing fewer than 17 points a game. I agree with you, though. I think, by the way, Dolphins won 17-16 on September 11th. They've never swept the Patriots since 2000. That was Belichick's first season as the head coach. So just remember that. So I'll take New England. Hey, what do Derek Carr and Jamarcus Russell have in common?
Neither of them are playing this week.
No, not true. Derek Carr has fewer than 2 passing touchdowns in 7 straight games. It's the longest streak for a Raiders QB since Jamarcus Russell in 2009. Chargers are 5-1 versus the Raiders when they face each other in the final week of the season since 1990. And my last little fun one, the Raiders are on pace to become the first team to have 2 of the NFL's top 4 in quarterback pressure in a season. With Max Crosby and Carl Nassib. And Herbert's 8-0 in games with a 100-plus passer rating. He's 1-7 when he's sub 100. They're in the toilet bowl. I think if Hunter Renfrow and Derek can hook up, because they've looked really good together, I'll take Vegas.
There you go.
Carefree pick when you're that far ahead.
You listen, you did not. You did not like that pick.
I
He said, I'll take Vegas.
I'm going New England for all the reasons that have been said, and also they were my Super Bowl champion pick. Here we are, though. They're in the dance. Here we go. Here we go. And there is a way, by the way, like if Cincinnati loses and I think if New England, it does a way. I think if both of them lose or something, Cincinnati's first playoff matchup to try and win their first playoff game in 35 years is against Bill Belichick and his defense. That is known for playing well.
I'll take that matchup this year.
All right.
Most years I won't. This year I will.
But I'm going with New England, and then Chris, because you've been gracious and you've had such bad picks this week, I'll pick this game in front of you too. The Raiders are doing it. The Raiders won me like $1 million week 1. I was tired. I bought a big, beautiful house with a bunch of land. I'm picking the Raiders again, and it's not Hunter Renfrow. Not Derek Carr. They're fine. They're serviceable. It is Josh goddamn Jacobs and that rushing attack that's going to punish the Chargers. Chargers don't do good against the run. Josh Jacobs is going to make them, there's the plug, load the box. And then Hunter Renfrow will be able to get a couple bingo! And then Hunter Renfrow and Derek Carr will be able to do their little bit of damage. But I think the Raiders are a lot more desperate than the Chargers at this. Because the Chargers, I don't know. I just feel like The Lados do have that like underdog, like it's us against the world feel to them. So I'm going with Vegas and New.
Hey, all I'm saying is, remember the last time? Was it the last time Vegas and them played? There was a lightning storm that took forever. Was that the Raiders game in Chargers game?
Yeah,
'cause it was
even
in
though
the
they were-
dome, but some of it
They
was
were
outside.
indoors, and there was a lightning delay indoors. Okay, I just want to make sure I was
Yeah.
on that.
That's
Yeah.
weird. So, all right. So, Chris, you've got New England versus Miami, and then the Chargers Raiders. What do you think?
I'm going to take the Patriots. I do think the Dolphins are going to give them all they want. That was one of my swing games. And I'm just going to go ahead and congratulate the Los Angeles Chargers for making the playoffs because I'm taking the Raiders to get in the playoffs, and I ain't picked my team right all year.
We're screwed now.
Fair enough.
Listen, it's got to happen sometime.
Right.
You got to be right sometime.
What a
Hey,
better.
hey, you know
we
what?
go-
I look
I
at
know-
it as it's kind of football's gift to a Raiders fan. They give us the last game so we can hold on to hope
You kind of
until
got a
the
playoff
very end.
better than the Vikings game. My dad straight told me he didn't want to watch football them the last week because it didn't mean anything. I was like, all right, fuck you too. Like, Nathan, before we go off the air, I know we're 7 minutes over. Can you tell us the differences between this land on the know which pointless games mean something?
Yes, I can tell you. So
Now,
here,
while you tally that up, can I ask Chip my question real quick?
no, because I don't need that much time to tell you, and then you can ask. Give me 1 second. So here are the games that matter that they pick differently on: Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
Good Lord, North.
Atlanta, New Orleans, and Vegas and the Chargers. So 5 games.
Yeah.
So they will not tie. They will not tie.
We both took the Raiders.
Well, wait. No, they
Yeah,
could.
they both
They could
took
tie.
Green.
They could tie because if Chris goes 4-1, or I'm sorry, if Jordan goes 4-1 in those 5 games, then they will tie.
Hold on, we both took the Raiders though. There's 4 games.
4 games. You're right. I'm sorry. So
They can still
3-1.
3-1. Yeah. Yeah. You could
If
still
I go
tie.
2-2 and Chris goes 0-4, then
All right,
that would
Chip,
be
here's my
impossible. Yeah,
question.
whatever.
I heard a comparison to Ezekiel Elliott the other day. I wanted to hear your thoughts. Ezekiel Elliott is Todd Gurley.
Mm-mm.
A knee injury. He had 1 or 2 really good seasons. Gets paid a lot of money, and then gets injured, and now isn't the same. And now he's just
And the only difference that I see between them is that Zeke has played through a lot of these injuries, and he's trying to push it. Whereas Todd had the injuries when he was in LA, and it just kind of it sidelined him completely, and it changed him completely on his running game. So I could see, as far as build stature, the way they both run. I mean, Zeke looked good against Arizona. He did have some big runs. They were dumping it to Pollard. He's getting complimentary. If Tony can stay healthy with that planner, I think if they give him 15 carries a game, it's no longer the 20-plus carries.
But is that worth the contract that he has, though?
Well, it's not. I'll agree with you. I think because that money could have been spent elsewhere, whether it's on the secondary or whatever. Hey, I know we're wrapping up. Side note, just announced Mickey James, Impact Knockout Champion, going to be in the Rumble. And they even said Impact TV on SmackDown.
Really?
Yep.
Is it time to start a wrestling show on 4 Laps Down?
Hey, we all he had his AEW title, so I thought, it's that fun fact.
There you go.
Buddy, I still have my aid.
Oh,
Look-
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Look, all I'm saying is if WWE is going to start working with AEW, then at some point CM Punk's going to hit on Raw and it's going to melt the universe, and I'm here for it.
It just
So
sucks that Triple H's Hout gave out, so he can't wrestle anymore.
yeah,
That's the match I want to see.
Yeah, all those steroids.
Hey, you know what sucks is Jordan's going to be sitting beside Kirk Cousins watching Dallas in the playoffs, so that's what sucks.
Oh
Watch 'em
man,
lose.
oh
Watch 'em
man,
Doesn't matter. Still watching them.
man.
Still watching them. You're going to turn your TV on to Fox and watch them, buddy.
Listen, we watched the Bengals in the playoffs in the past 2. And
I gave you
it
2
don't
open
matter
doors
if you
right
don't
there,
win,
Jordan,
because
just to make it interesting.
Hey, it's
Golden
like-
Tide.
I got reasons to love
I'd rather have a draft pick than get bounced first round.
That's true. Hey guys, it's been a lot of fun. We got to run. We'll be back during the playoffs, and don't forget during Super Bowl week we'll be here as well. It's been 4th and Long. We'll see ya.
Nathan, are you streaming tonight? What are you doing?